Coming up, as bidding continues in Cincinnati, protests in Harlan County enter their 5th day. And President Trump made a stop in Cincinnati yesterday to host a campaign rally. Plus, Appalachian Regional Healthcare announced the purchase of Highlands Regional Medical Center, expanding their presence across the region.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning. It is 6:32 on Friday, August the 2nd. I'm Will Puckett. Thank you for tuning in to Mountain News This Morning. Today should pan out to be a pretty nice day for most everybody, but for some, it could turn out to be a soggy day. Let's bring Brandon in to give us a breakdown of who should expect what, when, and where. Brandon, good morning.
Good morning, and things again not too bad for most folks today. We'll see those scattered chances for rain, especially as we get closer to the heat of the afternoon. Let's take a look at those visibility numbers though first this morning, and you can see some dense fog parts of the Big Sandy and some dense fog in parts of the I-75 and Lake Cumberland corridors this morning. Temperatures pretty uniform from 65 in Ashland to about 69 there in London. I was had to look a lot of 60s across the board there this morning. Across the state, 63 Paducah, 71 Louisville, 66 just to the north there in Cincinnati, 64 in Charleston, and 66 in the Tri-Cities. Iced coffee forecast this morning. Again, about a medium, not too bad temperature-wise. Some patchy fog. We'll see some sunshine behind that. Your weather app forecast, get that for free in the app stores on your phones and tablets. And you can see temperatures climbing into the mid-80s and scattered chances for showers and storms around this afternoon. The rest of the forecast coming up here in just a few minutes. Will?
All righty, Brandon, thank you. Well, today marks day 5 of protesting in Harlan County as Black Jewel miners continue to block train cars loaded with coal from leaving the mine. Now, although mining jobs have increased 4% during the Trump administration, more than 35% have been lost in the last decade. And these miners have now gone more than 1 month without their last paycheck. CBS's Errol Barnett was in Harlan County to take a more in-depth look.
Everyone out here is either a coal miner that's been laid off or they're supporting our actions.
We all work for that coal, and that coal is our money.
Most of these men were employees of Black Jewel, which was the country's 6th largest coal mining company. It abruptly filed for bankruptcy a month ago, leaving hundreds of non-union workers without severance or health benefits. It even stopped payment on their last paychecks.
Next thing I know, my account's $3,000 in the hole, and my account's frozen out.
Miner Jeff Willig is now relying on his wife Sarah's income to care for their 6 kids, including 2 with autism.
I'm in the middle of a process of moving from house to house with 6 kids and a wife.
In addition to
dealing with all this, correct.
This protest began Monday when Willig and other miners heard trains were about to haul $1 million worth of coal out of their former mine.
We're not out here trying to get more than what we've earned. We're not all about that. We're just out here to get what we earn.
Day and night, dozens of miners, family and community members have camped out on the railway, eventually allowing the train engines through without the coal. All they've heard from Black Jewel CEO Jeff Hoops was in this letter to employees, where he accepts responsibility, quote, for being unable to lead this company through these difficult times. Willig, who supports President Trump, has tweeted requests for help.
Do something about this company. See what they've done to us and what we're going through. Why can't their stuff be frozen?
Now, Black Jewel's assets are being auctioned off Thursday evening, but creditors are likely to be paid first. And keep this in mind, everyone that we've spoke with here says they are not moving until they get their money. Errol Barnett, CBS News, Cumberland, Kentucky.
I met Errol. He's a really nice guy, and their producer, she was awesome, and it was really cool and awesome that they came down to Eastern Kentucky to tell the stories of these men who have been wronged and them and their families. They're just great people all around. Now, Black Jewel's assets are being auctioned off in Cincinnati, and creditors are likely to be the first paid. Now, yesterday, Appalachian Regional Healthcare announced the purchase of Highlands Regional Medical Center. This expands ARH to 13 different healthcare centers across the region. The new name for for the center is Highlands ARH Regional Medical Center, and other than that, those in charge say not much will change. However, they say there will be more options for patient care. Officials say it is a way to bring together two entities that have spent years working for the same cause.
They have a great vision, they have a great team, and what we want to do is support it and grow it.
Now included in the purchase are all of Highlands associated clinics in Floyd, Magoffin, and Johnson counties. To Tennessee now, where 11 officers at the Shelby County Jail were decontaminated after fentanyl was found on a man being booked into the jail. The deputy sheriff was taken to Regional 1 hospital in non-critical condition. The other 10 deputies were later also taken to the hospital as a precaution after undergoing decontamination. All 11 deputies were released from the hospital later in the day Thursday. Officials say additional charges are expected against the man who was being booked, 38-year-old James Hubbard. Robert F. Kennedy's granddaughter, Sosha Kennedy Hill, died Thursday afternoon at the family's compound in Hyannisport, Massachusetts. Emergency responders rushed to the estate along the Nantucket Sound. State and local police are investigating. Her family released a statement saying, "Our hearts are shattered by the loss of our beloved Soshi. Her life was filled with hope, promise, and love." An official cause of death has not been released at this time. Well, President Trump slammed Democrats Thursday night at a campaign rally in Cincinnati. The event comes the day after Democratic presidential candidates went at each other during debates in Detroit as much as they took on the president. CBS's Nicole Killian has more from the White House.
The rage-filled Democrat Party is trying to tear America apart.
President Trump came out swinging against Democrats at his campaign rally Thursday night in Cincinnati.
The Democrat Party is now being led by 4 left-wing extremists who reject everything that we hold dear.
The president referred again to the so-called squad of progressive congresswomen of color. President Trump also hit Democrats over the issue of urban poverty, days after he went on the offensive against Maryland Representative Elijah Cummings.
For decades, these communities have been run exclusively by Democrat politicians.
President Trump also railed at Democrats on immigration and border security.
The greatest betrayal committed by the Democrats is their support for open borders.
The president's rally in Ohio comes after Democrats sparred with each other for 2 nights in Detroit. Back on the campaign trail Thursday, Democrats aimed their criticism directly at the president.
I strongly believe that the conversation needs to be fully focused on the problem of Donald Trump.
We need a president in office that does not tear places down, but builds people up.
In 2016, President Trump won Ohio's 18 electoral votes by a wide margin over Hillary Clinton. Ohio will again be a key battleground state in 2020. Nicole Killian, CBS News, the White House.
Now, President Trump's next rally is scheduled for August 15th in Manchester, New Hampshire, just less than 6 months before the state's closely watched primary. Well, South Korea says it is monitoring the situation in North Korea and looking out for additional missile tests. This after North Korea's second missile launch of the week. Initial U.S. assessments suggest this new test involved 2 short-range ballistic missiles. Experts say the North is demonstrating its frustration over planned U.S. and South Korea military exercises and stalled nuclear negotiations with the United States. Well, it's 6:40 on this Friday. Let's send it on over to Brandon for a breakdown of what to expect on this Friday. Brandon?
Well, this Friday starting off a bit foggy for some outside the WIMT studios. We are seeing that here in Hazard. It's actually got a little worse in the last 2 hours since we've been on the air. Zero visibility right now in Pikeville, Prestonsburg down to less than a mile. But again, a lot of spots not too bad this morning. Harlan pretty rough there, Jonesville now, and back down toward Somerset and Monticello seeing some limited visibility. London as well. So just be careful across the region this morning. Satellite radar loop for the last few hours. Things have been pretty quiet there. No major issues. A little bit of rain down south this morning. Back to 70 in Jonesboro, 65 in Pikeville. That's your range this morning as you head out the door. The out-the-door forecast for you if you're planning out your day. Some scattered chances for showers and storms later, so keep those umbrellas handy. Sunny for most of the first part of the day, and temperatures will top out right around 84. Will?
All righty, Brandon, I appreciate it. We will have stories that are trending on WYMT.com next. As always, thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. Still to go, NASA transitioning exoplanet survey satellite has completed 1 year in orbit and found some pretty interesting things not far from Earth. Now, NASA also says an asteroid is heading towards Earth, but that it's not anything we should worry about. We'll have those details straight ahead.